everyone, welcome to Car Radio. This is Van Young Petrolhead. Now today I'm at KHT Prime. It's a Jeep dealership, and you may be wondering, why are you at a Jeep dealership? Well, I'm here because I'm here to do a PDI on the Jeep Meridian Overland. Now this is the 4x4 model, and you may be wondering, why are you doing a PDI today? Well, this isn't any old Jeep Meridian Overland. This is my Jeep Meridian Overland. We just got it, and there's a lot of things you should know about vehicles like this. So, it has 170 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque. Now the thing is, before you buy a car like this, you always have to do the PDI. If you don't do the PDI, well, if the car has any issues, you'll get in a lot of trouble because fixing parts on a car like this is not cheap. It's really expensive. And there are a lot of things that can go wrong when making a vehicle. But in most cases, thankfully, a lot of things don't go wrong. And most of the time, these cars are okay. So, you may be wondering, what does PDI stand for? PDI stands for Pre-Delivery Inspection. Now, you do the pre-delivery inspection to make sure the car that you're buying does not have any issues whatsoever. Now, you always start off with the exterior. So, panel gaps like this, and stuff like the mirrors, the paint quality, if there's scratches, the thickness of the paint, the badging like this, and of course, tires and rims. You always go through these stuff first because this exterior is the easiest stuff to check, and then slowly, if everything's okay with the exterior, we move on to the interior. Now, the interior is where things become a bit more tricky because the interior basically works the entire vehicle. The steering, infotainment, AC, everything. You need to be sure that there's nothing wrong with the car. After checking out the interior, we'll go to the OBD scanner. Now, the OBD scanner is basically like a plug port that you plug into the vehicle, and it shows all the errors and problems that you will have with the vehicle. Now, knowing that there are no issues after you do an OBD scanner, your car is almost perfectly done with the PDI. All you have to do is check some other basic functions. Now, one piece of advice for anyone who's doing a PDI, 100% always check the electronics. The electronics is one thing that a lot of car manufacturers will screw up. But if you check it properly before you pay for the car, I think you're going to be okay because you always need to know what's wrong and what's going good with the vehicle. So, stuff like this 360-degree camera, puddle lamps. Yes, it has puddle lamps. Don't be confused. Actually, it does have it. Headlights, fog lamps, tail lights, and everything else. And of course, you need to check if the vehicle is going to start and all that. You're also going to have to check stuff like just what's good and what's bad, like so the brakes and everything. You have to know what's going on. Now, we're going to move on to the actual PDI part of the vehicle.
Now, we're going to have a look at the exterior a bit more. Now, right now, he's looking for scratches, rock chips, and panel gaps. Now, he's looking at the panel gaps of the fenders right now. If you have panel gaps, a lot of water, dust, and mud will get through, which is a really bad thing. And if there are panel gaps, you have to remove the whole panel and put it back together the right way. Now, he's looking for dents, and he's looking at the alignment of the hood to make sure there are no gaps on either side, and also the headlight. If there are issues like this, never accept a car during a PDI. Always ask for a new one. He's checking for more rock chips and paint imperfections, and he's going to look at the tire. Now, make sure the tire doesn't have any bulges. If it has bulges, don't accept the tire. So he's looking at the date to make sure it's not an old tire. Now he's going to have a look at the suspension and the wheel well to make sure there's nothing wrong over there. Now everything looks fine, and you have to make sure everything's fine. If something's wrong, don't accept the vehicle. And more paint stuff. You have to make sure there's nothing wrong with the paint and the panel gaps. You also have to make sure there's nothing wrong with the doors. You have to try always opening the door, as he's going to right now. Now, after having a look at the outside, he's going to open the door. And before that, you have to look at the other parts of the paint. Like if you have a black roof like this car, you have to make sure there's no dents or chips or scratches on that part, because scratches show really easily on black. And if there is a scratch, people are going to notice really fast. Now he's going to open the door, and if there was a problem with the door would get stuck by now, or it would damage and clip. Now everything looks fine and there's nothing wrong with it. checking for dents and stuff to make sure the door doesn't open, but it will open. There's nothing wrong with it, as you see. Over here we're having a look at the doors. Now he's just having a look and saying if there's any dents or any minor imperfections. Now the thing is, if the door has an imperfection, it won't open or close properly. He's also checking for scratches and dents or rock chips. Now after checking the outside of the door, he'll move on to the inside. Now on inside he's checking the beading and the inside part and the factory puncture marks. You can't actually replicate one of those. If you remove these and you find puncture marks on a crashed car, those are probably not real. But if they're on a car that isn't crashed and doesn't say it's crashed, it's probably real. Now he's checking all the beading and stuff. If these are having a problem, it'll be a lot of problems because the door won't shut properly, and so if it rains, it's going to start leaking inside the car. Now he's having a look at the quick interior bits that come to the door, like the dash and the side tray. Now he's also looking at the switches and the leather and the suede quality. All of these are essential. If there's something wrong with this, never accept a car after PDI. Now the interior and the side part. Now on the side part you'll have a lot of information like the cold tire pressure and stuff, but you also need to check it for dents to make sure the door actually closes, and the beading again to make sure it doesn't leak, and the interior bits like the seat, the leather quality, and overall making sure that it's all looking good. Now let's move on to the next bit. Now we're looking at the paint thickness. If the paint is too thin, that means they haven't painted it properly at the factory. And if the paint is too thick, that usually means that there was a dent on the car and the dealer might be trying to cover it up with a lot of paint. Now the paint is usually not supposed to be too thick or too thin. It's supposed to be at a medium level, so it should be strong enough to last against pressure washers, but it shouldn't be so thick that even if you hit it with a hammer, nothing's going to happen. If it's that thick, there's going to be an issue with the car, and it won't look good as well. You'll notice it after a while, and it's going to basically cover up a dent. And if the dent is there, that's not a good thing either.
Now, some other things to check. So the VIN number. When you buy a car, always look at the VIN number. You'll have one here, you'll have one under the driver's seat, and you'll have one when you open the door on the door sill on some cars. But always check on the windshield and on the under the driver's seat. So by looking at the VIN number, you'll know when your car is made, how old it is, and the make and model. So you can't get ripped off by someone who's trying to put a fake VIN number on your car. Now this is the interior of the Jeep Meridian Overland. Now the Overland is the only one that comes with this Tueplo leather Italian interior. Now this is the nicest interior you can get for a Jeep Meridian. Now that is the person who's doing the PDI. Thank you so much for doing the PDI actually. Now the vehicle itself, he's checking the roof and the controls and everything. We have AC vents back there, and we also have the sunroof, panoramic of course, only the best of the best. Now after you check the electricals and interior bits of the car, you have to make sure that everything is going okay. If there's something wrong with the car, well, you can't do anything if you pay for it. But if you check everything before you pay for the car, you don't have any problems. Now the car's exterior as a whole is amazing. The design is really nice. I don't have any problems with the car exterior wise, and I don't see any problems. But I'm not the expert, so we can't tell.
Now the interior. In the interior, you also have to look for panel gaps. And if there are panel gaps, you have to get it fixed, because panel gaps, as I said, are a big issue. Now the thing is, the interior is really intricate. So you have to look at the scratches like on the copper inserts. So also checking out the leather quality and the suede and the fabric and everything, making sure there's nothing wrong with it. Now another look at the interior. Now the interior is really nice in this car. I think I already said it before, but I'm saying it again, it's really nice. Now the back seats are also really nice, but I don't know if it's as good of a treatment as the front. Now in the rear we check the AC vents just like in the front, and all the electrical bits. Now the door is really hard to shut because it's really heavy, but after you get a hang of it, it's not that bad. And look at that interior. Now a look at the glove box. We open the glove box to make sure the light is working, and we get a medical kit. Now I'm just going to close it, and this is the interior. Really nice screen we have there, and the suede and leather. Now we're going to make sure that everything works on this, like the ventilation, which is on right now, and all the apps and stuff in the basically the screen. It's really nice, nothing wrong with it at all. Really nice. And we have the balance and the fade, the equalizer, so we can have different types of mid and bass and treble. Really nice. The balance and fade make sure that only one person or multiple people can listen to the music. Those who want to hear music can listen to it, while people who don't can't listen to it really well. It's really muffled for the people who don't want to hear music. Now this is just changing it, so for the driver right now, and now for the right side, and now for the person in the right, and now for people in the rear. So those who want to hear music can hear it, those who don't want to can't. The speaker is really good, 9 speakers, and I think this is really good. This is really good. I like it. Now, yeah, see, I approve. This is really good. I like the speaker setup on this. We're gonna look at the steering adjustment. Now, we have to make sure this works because the person who's driving has to be able to adjust it to their comfort. Now, as you can see, it works and there's nothing wrong with it. Now it's set at the right position, and steering wheel does actually work, which is a really good sign. If it doesn't, never accept that vehicle. Now we're looking at it with the OBD scanner. Now the OBD scanner is a scanner that you plug into a port in the driver's side. You plug it in and you can see if there are any errors or any problems with the electricals. If there is a problem, the OBD scanner will tell you what the problem is. And the thing is, this is a wireless Bluetooth one, so you have a mobile app on it. It's going to show it on the phone and you can see if there are any errors. Thankfully, there were no errors, so it's all good. Now the car itself is really nice, and overall we haven't found anything bad yet, thankfully. And the windows all work, nothing wrong with that as well. Yeah, windows all work, there's nothing wrong with it. It's great. Now, just looking at everything, we think that there's nothing wrong with it. And you see the driver's display over there, you can see the meridian, you can see the RPM, you can also see the speed, you can have a lot of different settings, you can have analog or digital. Now you see that part that's kind of glowing with lights, that is the OBD scanner plugged in there. The small OBD scanner tells us a lot of information. And that is the Jeep logo, and that's the memory settings for the seats, a lot of buttons, and the flashing lights. It's really nice because you can easily find out where it is, even if you don't know, because these OBD scanners, they blend in really well with the interior. Now, as I told you, the OBD scanner comes with an app, so you can check everything on the app. You don't have to carry around a big tablet type of thing where you have to always connect it to the OBD scanner. It's just a mobile app, much better and much more convenient. Now, the 9-speed automatic gearbox. Now that's hill descent control. There's 4-wheel drive lock. There's 4-wheel drive low, and sand, snow, mud, and the AC vents. It's a dual zone AC, so the people on the left and the people on the right can have different AC settings. So if the people on the left are feeling cold, you can have hot air, while the people on the right are feeling hot, they can have cold air. Now just checking if the AC works properly, and it does. Working on both sides. Now, overall, everything is looking really good, and the AC system is really powerful. You can feel the cold air just hitting you. It's a really powerful cold air, and it feels really good. Now, just checking at the comfort part. So that's the ventilation of the seats. You can turn on sync and turn off sync. If you turn off sync, it becomes dual zone. If sync is on, it's in a single zone right now. But right now it's single zone. And on the driver's side, hot air comes out now. But if you turn on sync, both turn out to be the same. Now, a lot of these features are really important to check because these are all electricals. If something goes wrong in this, you're going to have to replace a lot of wiring, sensors, and a lot of hardware. This is going to be really hard to deal with in the future if there's anything that's going to go wrong. But I don't think anything's going to go wrong, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Now we're going to look at the navigation. As of now, everything's good. So we're checking out the buttons, if everything turns on and off, and everything is turning on and off. And that is park sense. That's connected to sensors. So if you don't want to listen to the beeps, you can turn off it. And 360-degree camera and the rear view camera works flawlessly, and really good one. It also shows that one of the doors are open right now. Even if they're not like perfectly like fully open, you can tell that they haven't closed properly. Front camera, rear camera. There's also more types of the rear camera and front camera, one with the 360-degree camera and one without. It's really nice. You can see the people walking by and the people and the building behind us. Now that's really cool. And then we have more about the interior. Really interesting. It's just about the infotainment system. Now another look at the interior. Now the interior is really nice on this car. I think I already said it before, but I'm saying it again, it's really nice. Now this is the OBD scanner I was talking about. It's a simple Bluetooth thing, but it gives you a lot of knowledge on what's going on with the car. And if you don't use one of these during the PDIs, well, if there's anything wrong with the car, I'm just gonna say I told you so. Now this is the mobile app I was talking about. It's Bluetooth connected and it's really intuitive and useful. Now the engine bay. Now the engine is one of the most important parts of the vehicle. You have to make sure there's nothing wrong with it during a PDI. You have to check all the fluids like the windshield wiper fluid and the oil, the engine oil basically. And you have to check the battery to make sure the battery isn't an old battery. If it's an old battery, within like a month or two of you owning the car is going to stop working because the battery is going to run out of electricity. Now he's going to check the thickness of the engine oil and the levels of the engine oil. Everything seems okay as of now. Now after checking the dipstick, he's going to check the stuff other than that in the engine bay, like the hood and everything. Now checking the beadings and the punch marks in the hood to make sure there's nothing wrong. So if you do this, you'll understand that there are no fabrications or any repair works done. Now the tailgate and the back part. He's checking if the seats fold properly and if there's anything wrong with the rear part of the interior. Now everything is okay right now. There's nothing wrong with it and everything folds the right way. He's also checking at the beading and everything else in the trunk and the plastic panel bits, making sure that everything is in the right fit and finish. Checking the hinges as well to make sure there's no rust or anything wrong with it. Now he's going to click the button to make sure the sensors work and it doesn't come down like that. So he put his hand back again to make sure it doesn't come down, and he pressed it again. Now it beeps and it didn't come down. Now that's it for the day, and that's me signing off.